Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new workshop about public speaking. Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Laura Trifan, and I am a teacher at the Faculty of Engineering in Foreign Languages at the German stream. And I shall let the other two colleagues of mine to present themselves, please. Andrei?
Okay, I will start first. Hello guys, I'm Andrei. I finished University of POLITEHNICA fields faculty in German language. I did management and electrical engineering here. Was a good choice for me. I learned a lot and developed myself a lot. After that, nowadays I'm working in sales and I'm delivering public speaking courses, and together today with Andy and Miss Professor Trifan, we would teach you how to pitch your project or your business.
Hello everyone. Just as my colleague said, today's topic is going to be about public speaking. If you've met me previous years or other events, then you already know who I am, but still, I am both a fields bachelor and master's graduate, and because the fact I enjoyed this faculty a lot, this is my first year starting as a teaching assistant, and the three of us today will be talking about the public speech workshop as well as the elevator pitching. Hopefully everyone can see the shared screen, and if you will let us, we will then proceed. And also throughout the presentation, if necessary, feel free to ask us anything. Okay? So you already saw who we are, so we can get into the nitty-gritty, so to speak, of the presentation itself and the topic itself of public speaking. Well, the very first thing that we should clear out for you, if there is any difference from this experience that you will encounter at the Hardcore Entrepreneur 5.0 hackathon, compared to maybe projects that you have presented throughout your secondary school or high school. Of course, the clear thing is the fact that you will be addressing yourself to an audience if you are to make it into the final round, and if not, you will just make a recording of yourself. And these two can be very different, because one of them is discouraging because you're not getting any feedback. You're alone with your colleagues, your friends, your teammates, talking to a computer, while on the other one, you're physically on a stage, which I will show you in a few, something similar of it, addressing yourself to the people that are interested about it, as well as the fellow competitors. The other fact is that you will also need to prepare a PowerPoint presentation, either to show us some of the applications, the features, the functionalities of the mobile app that you and your team have developed, or to tell us more about the entrepreneurship side, the way that you plan to monetize your idea and to maybe gain some money out of it. So these types of information will be necessary to be also provided in the PowerPoint presentation while you're presenting. And also they are very important for us to get a visual stimuli, just like right now, while somebody's doing the talking. Other than that, you're going to see that the attitude itself and the way that you present yourself are also going to be somewhat relevant. Of course, they're not going to take away from the main idea, but I think since you are a younger generation, I can speak blank and tell what everyone knows, is that if somebody is a boring presenter, you can all feel it. And even though the subject is interesting, you might not be paying full attention. So I'm going to try to provide you some overall tips and tricks before my colleagues go into more detailed techniques and guidelines that you can follow. This is an example of a room at the university, so you can get a feeling how it would go and how it develops itself. the whole presentation, the people sitting in the chairs, the rows that seem to be going and going until they reach the sky, but that shouldn't be of nothing to be scared about. Now, about the tips and tricks that I've been telling you about, and I will actually get to talk about them. Out of my personal experience, loud normally represents interesting. It's definitely not about shouting. It's about the fact that maybe some of you already know that your voice is normally quite low or shy. And we normally try to compensate that with providing you with a microphone, just like we did in previous times. But do keep in mind that if you talk as if you are talking to yourself or whispering, this will either make the people not pay attention, or it will just make it overall harder for people to follow you or to hear what you have to say. So if you cannot be loud volume-wise, at least try to space your words good enough so you don't speak too fast and they become hard to understand. About the average attention span, again, I think you can relate to this most, is as short as a TikTok. It's just about the fact that once you have made an idea clear for someone and you are certain of the fact that you have made the point go through, let's say from one particular slide or for one point of interest out of your presentation, then you might as well go to the next one, because if necessary, the audience will just ask questions afterwards and you can then repeat yourself. But it's better to keep it sweet and short rather than repeat yourself over and over, and then the point itself either gets lost or people just get tired of it. As for the fancy words, something that I consider to be a good practice out of, again, personal experience, is the fact that since the presentation will be in a foreign language and maybe you or your colleagues might doubt your experience, first, no need to doubt. Everyone can make a mistake or two. But if we're talking, just like we are right now, about technical vocabulary, since you're going to be talking about an application or about economical terms in a foreign language, if there's something that you have troubles with, it's much better to have those words into the PowerPoint for people to read them and for you to explain it in a more simple fashion, in a more simple vocabulary, just so that you are certain that you don't lose a lot of time trying to remember the word by having a lapsus, or try to mumble it because you cannot pronounce it well. The next one, and I will try to keep the slides shorter, is, a motto of mine: fear is for fools, confidence is for champions. After all, you're going to be presenting something that you and your colleagues did, so there's no need to have any fear. Be confident in the fact that you have managed to make something great together and that it's the result of your cumulative time and knowledge and experience, and show this to us, because again, it will give a good vibe to the audience and the judges themselves. And this is something to end this slide on a funny note. In case you are scared of this big room with quite a lot of people, don't forget that you can maybe see somebody sleeping or not paying attention, and then you realize, hey, it's not that serious. I just need to get my idea through, and the people that care, the people that are interested, will definitely pay attention to me. But that doesn't mean that everyone has to pay attention to you, and that normally takes a little bit of the edge away. Before I pass the mic to my professor, Ms. Laura Trifan, the last thing that I would say are these 4 tools that normally help you when preparing yourself with the PowerPoint and with a little bit of the pitch itself. Just like the 3 Musketeers, there were actually 4. People think about the document itself, where they have maybe prepared the whole information that you need for the competition with the business plan, whatever functionalities you have to do. Then you think about the presentation itself. Then maybe you consider telling, hey, I took this information from this course or from that, the source of inspiration, or maybe some inspiration even for the way that people do speeches. might be something that you would research, but also consider about making a script. Since this is one of your primary experiences as a different way of doing a public speaking event, or doing public speaking in front of such an audience in the context of a competition, it's not the worst thing to prepare beforehand some main ideas or the entire plan of what you're about to say, just so that you get an understanding. This can be very useful when it comes to timing yourself, because you will need to stay between a certain amount of minutes. This can also give you some main ideas, and just by the process of repeating it while you are looking at your own PowerPoint will help you gain some brain muscle memory, so to speak. And if you were to lose your words, because most likely you will not be reading a piece of paper while you're in front of the audience, but then you can just look at the slide and be like, hey, I remember talking about these topics while I had this slide when I was repeating my script. And then instead of losing your train of thought, you can then proceed with what you had planned to present. Now, without further ado, I will let my colleague to proceed with the elevator pitch.
Yes, I'll take from here. The elevator pitch is a method for what? For making a synthesis of our explanations. You know, you usually want to develop to leaders, yeah, and leaders have not so much time today. For everybody, time is a scarce resource, so we have to have compact information to offer to persons who may help us in our project. Andy, was there not one slide before? That one with the model of the elevator?
Not that I can see, unfortunately. No.
Oh, okay. All right. So, why elevator? Why the elevator? Could somebody tell me?
Oh.
Before. So maybe you're not daring. Maybe you should have announced in the beginning that you should feel free to open the micro and enter a dialogue with us. Yeah, we want to do it as informal as possible, but I'll try to explain and afterwards we'll discuss. So it is a model. It is a model, you know. Usually to explain the world in an easier way, we use simplifying models. And I learned from my chemistry teacher, who was a very strict and severe person, to use models. He taught us the chemistry using models, and that made it very clear. I had very good marks, not being very good in chemistry. It was not my my interest among my interests, but I liked that he taught us how to use models. And this elevator model is used to say that you have to speak quickly and very substantial. Yes. So what would that mean? A description which should be very suggestive when we use this model. And I remember also a scene from Grey's Anatomy. You know, everything is going on in a hospital, and they were also researching and needed a funding for their innovations. And the main character, Dr. Gray, came into the elevator with a potential investor. And we are not shown what happened between the point low and the point up. But so the elevator doors got closed, and afterwards, we see the relaxed investor who was saying, and don't forget to keep in touch and to discuss. That meant that in that short time, she managed to explain and convince them to be interested in that idea. Good. Where are these models used at? In projects, especially in the Agile project. You heard about Agile method. This is the modern way of doing project management. When you want to persuade the team or to see the main points of a project, or in the sales pitch. In the sales pitch for salesmen, for vendors, which is use a guided dialogue to convince the conversation partner to buy. That means actually to remain positive in the mind of the partner, to remain positive. The sales pitch is very important. Why? Because you are among competitors. You want to make clear that you want to be the best and convince someone to buy your product or to use it or to offer you help for developing an idea of yours. That means you have to know technology and knowledge-based information for the product or services. And you need to catch attention for presenting ideas or learn from reactions. That is very important. You see to the audience, you look to the audience. Ideal it is to catch their eyes, to look in their eyes, and you can read the faces, or you feel the rumor or everything that the audience is reacting at, and then you know if you are on the right path or not. Then for collecting improvement proposals, you may use it or ask for material support like financing, recommendation, some connections for building networking, or for preparing decision, which also is very important. Okay. Let's see. An ideal pitch takes less than 30 seconds, like I said, but usually it takes 2 or 3 minutes, depending on the place where you are. It sums up about 75 keywords, and you'll say 75, isn't it a lot? Maybe it's good to get acquainted, to get used to use keywords, because maybe in the beginning you have the tendency to learn by heart what you would like to say, and if you skip one word, then panic, then you don't have the fluency of presentation. But if you have the keywords in your mind, then you can use them and also point them out, stress out your idea and your argumentation, so that these words remain also in the mind of your discussion partner. And this is all an rhetoric work. You may tell your parents, grandparents, your cats and dogs. It was written on the previous slide, but it's important to discuss with the closest person, to make exercise, and it of course is very important that everyone understands, from the CEO to grandma. That means use simple words, not too complicated, not too hard to understand, or to follow. And for the adaptation and the seeking of these new opportunities, you have some features of this. First of all would be KISS. What? KISS? Yeah. Keep it short and simple. That means don't use too complicated words. Create emotions. That means a picturesque language, dynamic, make people get attentive and interesting and curious. Be credible, be authentic. Yeah, it's not that you learn by heart a role and then you say it as if you would you say a poem. Yeah, and know and understand the need of the audience or of your partner, of your conversation partner, because this is actually the most important thing. The last feature would be call to action. So the whole discussion, this short, compact discussion, should end with the question of your partner to keep in touch, either to get his visit card, to want to ask you for your visit card or for the contact, or to establish a meeting, a further meeting, in order to discuss the details. That means you caught them. Next, please, Andy. So you see here how you induce the need. You have the specific goals, of course, which the product or the service encompasses, but also you have higher goals, so-called framework goals, like some good deeds or some principle. And everyone is sensitive to such higher goals, because we also think to our friends, to our society, and want to make it a better place. Okay, and the next one. The next slide, please. Yeah. So the end point is what you want. So what's your objective when you start the pitching? You want to have the person convinced regarding the product, the service, the idea. And there are some aspects that have to be clarified. So the first one is the unique selling point, the so-called unique selling point. So what's special about my product? What need does it satisfy, or what problem does it solve? What is the greater good that it applies itself to? Yeah, you see those principles and ideas on the previous slide. And to whom is it addressed? To industry, individuals, so on. Actually, there are some questions we may discuss or establish before starting the conversation. And you keep in mind questions like, who is our target client? That makes us adapt our speaking to the kind of person I have in front of me. Who is his? What is his need or his problem? How is your idea and our name, our product or our idea called? You have to be very specific. And which market category does it fit in? Which is our main advantage? Who are our competitors? And what makes our idea unique? All these clarified, these aspects you clarify before, so that you have the quintessence of it. Yeah. And in the team, because we usually have a lot of discussions, you know, even discussions in the team are not essentialized. I think it is interesting to have them ranked. Yeah, to have them evaluated. You have more many methods. Two of them I'll mention. The dot evaluation. So you write them on a flip chart, and then every member of the team puts dots to the most interesting 3 ideas, for instance, or with money. You may play with money. Every idea gets a sum, and you keep those ideas who got the most amount, the biggest amount of money. So I'll pass the floor to the next colleague.
Hey guys, hello. Perfect. So as my colleagues Laura and Andy already said, a elevator pitch or a business pitch, it's a tool that you must use in order to raise awareness, to create impact, to, I don't know, access, let's say, the attention of a possible client or investor. Yes, and to summarize a little bit, first and most important, a business pitch must resolve a problem. Yes, this is what the main idea of a pitch is to resolve a problem, not to sell directly a product or a service, but something that you can resolve or achieve. Yeah, it's like helping people to achieve something. And in order to be impactful, because as you saw, you have between like 30 seconds to 1 minute or 2 minutes, depend on the contest or on the time that you receive. You need to be very impactful from the beginning, from the start. Yes, and there are different ways. You can start a business pitch or an elevator pitch, and one of them is starting with a question. Yeah, and I put here some examples regarding questions, and one of them is this type of question. Have you ever wondered how long you can afford to stay without a backup solution or without your company's IT system not functioning? Yeah, or if your company were a victim of a cyber attack tomorrow, would you be 100% protected? Did you know that over 50, 60, 70% of companies do not reach their maximum sales potential because XYZ? These are questions that grab the attention of the persons which you are speaking with, and so on. They are going to focus further on your elevator pitch. Okay, thank you, Andy. If we spoke at the beginning at step 1 about questions, another idea of how you can start a business pitch is with statistics. Numbers are always good to be used, and it's very simple to understand them and to keep them in mind. Okay, and you can take statistics from internet. It's very important to name the source. You can, but it's not ethical to create or invent statistics which are cannot be proved. Okay, and here it's I have 2 examples for you. Yeah, according to startup.ro, the most important programming language in 2020 was Java, C++, JavaScript, and Python. Yeah, however, there are new ones such as Rust, Swift, Kotlin, and so on, which take advantage of hardware changes, especially cloud technologies. Okay, or in 2018, Startup Cafe estimated that count of 20.7 thousand companies in the field of software in Romania alone, with 18.6% more than in 2017 and 30% compared to 2014. Yeah, this type of numbers or statistics raise importance or put under the light of your speech the importance or the meaning of what you are going of or what you want to present further. So numbers, if you like, it's very good to be used. Or you can say simply, if you find something relevant on internet, 50% of people or 1 of 2 people these days are using ChatGPT for their homeworks, for the projects, and so on. Yeah, everything that can be measured and counted. Thank you, Andy. Step 3, also you can use quotes or how to say these days, memes. Yeah, about or coming from people from the industry or different philosophers or different persons who said something relevant, or let's say they are very well known in the industry, like maybe Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. I selected here something about technology said by Marcio Barrios. Technology is the art that transforms science into something practical. If you are going to have a science project or a technical pitch, you can start with something related to technology and to build your product or solution on this code. Also, but for small pitches like 60, 70 seconds, I don't recommend this. But for longer pitches like 2 or 3 minutes, as I understand that you have as time, you can put or you can ask people to imagine something. Yeah, okay. You can give them a story, a short scenario, something like this. Yeah, imagine that tomorrow your company would be the victim of a cyber attack, in which you lose data worth of 5 million or billion euros. Okay, you are in front of your big client, and your cloud is not working. Okay, what do you do? Yeah, there are different stages that in which you can put the client to create a sense of urgency, a sense of problem. As I said, a business pitch is not about to promote necessarily a product or its features, but more to sell the idea of resolving a problem. This is what you need to understand from these examples. Okay. So Andy, go a little bit further. And now we've talked about the beginning of an elevator pitch, what is very important for you, and I hope you write this down and keep it in mind. You don't need to start an elevator pitch with all the possibilities that I presented you a little bit earlier. You need to choose one. You can start with a question, or with a statistic, or with a quote, or with this point in which you can imagine, ask the persons to imagine something. And now about the content of the pitch. You need to raise a problem, to start from a problem in the market, because that's why a business is created, to resolve something, to bring some benefits on the table for the society or for the clients. And in your pitch, you need to start discussing or presenting a problem, and after that, how you as a business can bring some efficiency, some decreasing cost, flexibility, safety, practically everything that can resolve the client problems. We don't focus on, let's say, on characteristics of the product, because we don't have time. We need to sell this idea of easiness, of security, of gaining time for client, on reducing time costs or time processes, and so on. Cool. Thank you, Andy. And also, a way you can finish a pitch, most of the time it's like with a punchline or a call to action. In the end of the pitch, you need to ask the auditorium to do an action. Okay, go on our website, take your phones or order, I don't know, download a PDF or download a trial version of my solution. Call me or set up a call or a one-to-one meeting, video or physical with me, in order to discuss or to start to work on your business journey, business project, and so on. Okay, or if you don't want to use a direct call to action, you can use always a question, as you can use at the beginning. Sometimes in elevator pitches, you can start and finish with the same type of beginning, or with the same type of line. Okay, now that you figured out how to lower your costs, are you ready to take your business to the next level? Or with an unexpected combination? Yeah, it's something bold, something courageous. In a world where the only constant is change, for a secure future, choose wisely your oracle. This is something that I used when I work to Oracle to pitch Oracle's products. Okay. On the next slide, please. And also, if you want, you can finish your pitch with a statistic, same code or another code or mem. And if you started with, imagine that you wake tomorrow up, your business is or your business suffered a cyber attack security, and you are going to explain how your product or service is going to protect the customer business. You can end up also with an imagine that you came after 2 weeks of vacation in Bali, in Thailand, in Grecia, in, I don't know, Mamaya, Baile Felix, or where he wants to go, and you open your system and everything works smoothly, or everything it's all right. Okay, so you can just like start the pitch and finish it with the same type of sentences. You can call it like a mirror pitch. Cool. So just to summarize the things up, as openers, we can use questions, statistics, images, quotes, closures. All openers can be also closures. And besides this, you can use number 3 here, unexpected combinations, meaning that you can play with the words, you can create different words or sentences, you can use rhymes to make more funny or accessible for the persons. Okay. As an advice, people are not buying products or services. Emotionally, they are choosing solutions for their problems to resolve something. Okay, this is one of the most important things that you should keep in your mind. You are not, although you are selling a product or a service, people are not buying literally them, but they are buying something that resolve a problem. Okay. Okay. This was my part. I think Andy, Laura, if you don't want to add something, I can give an example for the kids to know how elevator pitch sound.
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, just a second. It's getting dark here where I am going to open a light. Okay, so I don't know if you already know, we will meet again on 2 of February for, I think, an hour session in which you should or you must present an elevator pitch that you've created. And now I'm going to give you an example of how an elevator pitch may sound. I will tell you very slowly in order to observe how I am beginning, how I'm going to do the middle of it, and how am I going to close the pitch. Okay, it's simple. It's something like 1 minute should be. From what I understand, you have 2 or 3 minutes, so you have much more time than what I'm going to use. Okay, so imagine that it's Monday morning. It's summer. You came after 2 weeks of holiday from Lefkada, from Greece, when you had a great time with your friends. You swimmed a lot, you slept a lot, you ate a lot, everything was great. You're the business owner of your company. You come back Monday morning, you open your laptop, and all your data and client information are lost. And you had their data summarizing up like $1 or $2 million, and you have no more access on it. Okay, what are you doing further? Last year in 2024, one of 2 companies suffered a cybersecurity attack, meaning that 50% of you could have been a victim of this or can be a victim this year in 2025. In order not to stay with this stress, and lose money, lose clients, lose business, because kind of this attack can close your business definitely, I recommend you a backup solution that can protect your workloads, can protect your work. And more than this, if you can be a victim of this type of cyber attacks, they also can restore your information in another server. My name is Andrei Dicher. I'm working for ABC company, and we are delivering cybersecurity data software called Andrei Security. And what is great to our solution is that it's very user-friendly. You don't need a technical team to install. It recognizes automatically all the softwares and applications that you installed on your computer, and it starts automatically. Already installed. We are going at Andrei, ABC company is going to make all the updates and security. You don't need to be an IT expert for it. Just install it and let us do the magic for you. Also, great information that I can share with you is that 80% of the clients from 2024, they already signed the extension of the contract for 2025. So if you don't want to risk to be the next victim of the cybersecurity crime list, write me an email or ping me on social media, and let me send you a demo to show how this solution may be the perfect fit for your business. So stay safe, keep in touch.
Thank you for the example, Andrei, of the elevator pitch. Now, as I have said a little at the beginning, things will be going a little bit different compared to other years. So today, me and my colleagues held this webinar for you. And of course, now we're open to any of your questions. But because of the fact that we want to be certain that you have time to prepare yourself, think of an idea, and maybe get to practice it, we have also scheduled for the 2nd of February a workshop for you that will also be held online with the 3 of us, where you can actually get to test your your pitches for your idea, or maybe you can work only on a generic example if you want to be secretive about the idea of your project, not an issue.
Yep.
But of course, that will be just an extra opportunity where we can address the way that you plan to present it and how you can also receive feedback from us and also see how the others are doing. So for now, we will limit ourselves only to the questions, but do keep in mind that there will be a different session next week on next week on a Sunday, specifically for you testing out your own demos for the pitch. So yeah, please tell us either on the chat or raise your hand or just ask directly if you had any questions about today's webinar.
Maria.
Yes, Maria?
Yes, I do have a question. When we write our elevator pitch, do we need to write it and memorize it, or we just say things that comes out of our mind in that moment?
It's good to prepare it. Yeah, you should take a couple of days earlier or a couple of hours in the next days and put on a paper starting points, some benefits in the middle, and an ending for your pitch.
To continue Andrei's point, because it was a very good one, what I think you need to understand is the following, that the elevator pitch is a concept that became a reality when people wanted to sell their ideas and they decided, I will take every opportunity that I have to do so. So, of course, if it happens for the very first time, like you just came up with idea and suddenly you met somebody that might be interested, of course, you're not going to have time to prepare it. You're going to need to do it on the moment. But if you're already working on an idea and you think of the future when it will finally be done and you will want people to be interested about it and invest, that's when you start working on the pitch itself, on the way how you present it, how you keep it short, how you keep them captivated, how you keep them wanting more and wanting to invest. And then when you have the structure and have repeated yourself, then every time the opportunity will come, whether it's on the subway, whether it's in a meeting, at a conference, or as the name says, inside the elevator with somebody that seems interested or might seem worth talking to use the opportunity to repeat that elevator pitch that you have prepared. Did that clarify it for you, Maria?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there any other question from the audience? Yes, Catalina. We cannot hear you.
So I just got an idea while you were talking about the pitch, an idea for the pitch itself, for the video, for the contest. And I need your advice if it's a good idea or not, how to start a pitch. So do you think it's a good idea to start a pitch with, I don't know, a small video, like a few seconds, or some highly emotional images, so it makes the audience think that your product is really important for solving the problem, like a few images about the problem, like if it's an educational problem, a few images about some kids that don't have the resources to learn.
In general, yes. In my opinion, yes, it's a very good point. Nothing can, let's say, sell better something like images or a video content. But here, Andy and Laura can tell you if extra content or video content or images are allowed in the contest.
Yeah. Just like Andrei said, so if normally, if in an elevator pitch you're just talking to people, then you only have the pitch that you have prepared and the way that you talk to convince that person. But in the context of our competition, in Hardcore Entrepreneur, as I said, you will also need to prepare a presentation. And what I can tell you from my experience, and that also correlates with how Andrei presented the stuff about starting with the question, it's always good to have the information correlate. So what you're about to say verbally also coincide with what you're going to have on the visual representation. Yes, you are allowed to use both videos or images or just text or a mix of them. Everything is possible, just like in a regular PowerPoint presentation. But indeed, if you want to start maybe by directly asking the audience the question or telling them, hey, you have this issue, I have this solution, let's talk about it. Then you can also use media content, whether it's pictures or videos, or if possible, but I'll have to check in the meantime if we can also enable you to use audio, like music in the background or something, but I'm pretty sure that we can. Then you can also add it into the presentation to give it a little bit more of an oomph, so to speak, meaning that it will give it an extra touch. So in the context of the presentation, we expect you to do a PowerPoint. The way that you do it, it's completely up to you. But when it comes to, our expertise, the three of us, when it comes to public speaking or generally addressing yourself to the audience with the use of a PowerPoint, it definitely helps to have some additional visual aid, not just text, because as you all know, maybe from the pandemic or from other presentation, just having text on the slides, not even some colors or some diagrams, can become boring for the people that are paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I may add, actually you may create emotion through additional image, and you may insert it into the presentation. So it must not be too complicated.
And one more thing about emotion, if people, for example, aren't interested in that idea themselves, maybe you're selling, just like in this case, a mobile application, but they have more to do with a different field. If you at least manage to create an emotional reaction from them because it relates to something or because it's generally something that people like, they will still provide you with an opinion, with a feedback that can then help you improve in the future, either the idea itself or the way that you pitch it. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
Great.
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else brave, just like your colleagues, Maria and Catalina, to ask anything else?
Yeah, you need to understand there are no stupid questions. So if you, I don't know, went to the bathroom, drink some water, log out for a couple of seconds, and you have something that you didn't understand, or you want us to repeat again, so tell us. It's not. It's perfectly okay. No stress, no pressure.
Okay. Then I have a suggestion for all of you, and also feel free to tell any of your colleagues. To not waste whatever time we have left, let's make it like this. Luckily, myself and my colleagues have access to the channels, either if we're talking about the WhatsApp group, or in my case, also the Discord. So if you have there any questions that you want to address, either since you participated today or even to the people that are watching the recording of this webinar, feel free to ask on those channels any question and mention that it's regarding the public speaking webinar or related to how you're going to prepare the presentation for the competition. And I will be sure that your question comes to all of us, and then we can address it. And of course, you will also have an additional opportunity on the 2nd of February if we have any time left after we do the demos and the simulation of the pitches. Would that be okay with everyone?
Yes, thank you.
Nice. Well, then on behalf of my colleagues, but of course I'm certain that they want to say something as well, I would like to thank you all attending, and for the ones that are watching either now or later, we're really looking forward to helping you improve the way that you address yourself publicly, the way that you present, and also to seeing as many of you compete in the actual competition and do your best. Thank you very much, everyone. And have a nice day.
Yeah.
Have a nice
Good luck.
Have a nice day.
And good luck.